Hey guys, it's Trish from Dish Kitty Studio, and I thought I would do a quick update for my week. Just give you kind of a rundown of the things I've been working on. It was actually a pretty busy week for me. I think this is where I left off last time. This is just my daily journal that I use just about on a daily basis. I make a page for every day, whether or not it's up to date. I don't always do it that day. I was trying to figure out what I was going to wear to this nightclub. My husband and I were going to go out to a nightclub with some friends to celebrate another friend's birthday, so I tried on this sequin skirt that I have, which I didn't end up wearing, but I drew a picture of it. This is my husband and I out at the nightclub. You see we both have cocktails. We're very smiley. It was fun. It was a much younger crowd than he and I are used to, but we had a good time. We had some cocktails, probably a little too many, if you know what I mean. But it was a good time. It was with some close friends, and it was fun. We danced a little bit. Now here's the next day. You can see I was laying around with my cat. I was paying the price for all my fun the night before because I sure did not feel too good when I woke up. We had to rake, so here's me. I finally got to use the leaf blower. I usually only just rake, and my husband handles the, big tools, but I got to use the leaf blower this time, and it was pretty fun, I gotta say. It's the vibration that you feel is kind of crazy, but it's fun to watch all the leaves just fly away. This day, I drew a picture of my briefcase. I had a meeting the next day. I had to drive to Chicago for a meeting in the very early morning, so I was, in the evening, I was kind of packing up my briefcase and getting things ready and mapping out my route and all that kind of stuff. So I drew a picture of my briefcase. Here's me. This is what I wore to my meeting, and I just kind of wrote about it. It was a pretty uneventful drive there and drive back. The meeting went well, and on my way back, I stopped at this brewery called Greenbush. That's right on the way home, and I got something to eat, and I tried a couple of beer samples. I've been there once before, but it was really, really busy, and I only got to stay for a few minutes because there was nowhere to sit, and I was kind of passing through. So this time I actually got to eat and hang out for a little bit, and I bought this postcard, and I sort of tipped it in, and I wrote on the back about the beers that I had and the food that I had and that kind of stuff. This day, I went to a good friend of mine, Zach, had a Pampered Chef party at his house, so I went to it, and we actually made this really amazing soup. The whole group, kind of worked on it together and made this really good soup, and my job was to press the garlic. And I have actually never used a garlic press before, if you can believe that. I love to cook. I love garlic. I use a ton of garlic. Never used a garlic press, so I got to use one for the first time, and of course, I ended up ordering one. So soon enough, I will have my very own garlic press. This was a tough day for my husband. See, I drew a picture of him with a little sad face. He had a tough day at work, and got some pretty bad news for his team and some of his colleagues. So I wrote about that, but I spent the evening packing. So here's my little travel bag and my stuffed mouse peeking out of the top. I packed my bag because the next morning I was leaving for, I went to Louisville to visit a good friend, a few good friends. So I kind of wrote about packing and how excited I was and all that kind of stuff. So my weekend was really busy because I did spend it in Louisville. But one of the things that we did was we went to this really great antique mall, and I found this incredible vintage inkwell. I'm so excited to use it. I just got back last night. I need to get this, kind of cleaned out really well and ready for ink, but I love it. It's got a Bakelite lid, and it has like this little, like you turn that and then you can stick your pen in the top, so you don't even have to unscrew the top. I was so excited. I got this for only $6. I've been kind of looking for an inkwell anyway, and this one just sort of fell in my lap. I was so excited. So yay, new inkwell. The other thing I got at the antique mall was this really cool needlework book. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Courtney. I think her YouTube channel is Little Ink. I'm not sure, but I'll link it down below. Absolutely. She just started this new series she has this amazing art journal that she flipped through on her channel a couple of years ago, and it's absolutely my favorite art journal I've ever seen on YouTube or anywhere else probably. It's a couple of years old. I will definitely link that video down below. She used an old sewing book, so very similar to something like this. And it's just really cool. I highly recommend that you watch the video where she flips through it from a couple of years ago. But anyway, she has started a new series on her channel where she is sort of redoing that same book, but she's doing it on camera. So you can follow along and you can make your own and sort of go through the process as she does. So I found this book for $4 at this antique store, and it's absolutely perfect. It's exactly what I was looking for. In fact, the book that she has, that she's using in her series it's a Reader's Digest book, but it's not needlework. It's a sewing book, another sewing book, but it's the same shape as this, like the rectangular. So I'm pretty sure that it's the same paper and everything. So it was quite a lucky find because I wanted to follow along with that series anyway. So I followed the first steps, which are to cut out some of the pages so you can see how fat it starts out and then it gets a lot skinnier. Let me pull it back a little bit. Maybe that makes it a little easier. So I did pull out a ton of pages to make it, so that the spine can handle all the abuse I'm going to hopefully, inflict on it. But anyway, I'm very excited about that. I will post the links to all those videos in the description because I really think if you're interested in art journaling at all, I highly recommend you take a look. And if nothing else, look at her journal flip through because I seriously have probably watched it 50 times. It's incredible. So that's about it for me. Like I said, I was gone all weekend. So I took my sketchbook with me, but I was so busy having fun and spending time with friends that I did not even pull it out of my bag, to be honest. But I am back home now, and hopefully I'll have a little more time this week to, I don't know, work on something. I'm excited to get my daily journal caught up because I'm way behind. You can see the last page I did was packing to go to Louisville, so I have a lot to catch up on. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. I will be back soon with something else. And again, check out this series that Courtney's doing because I think you'll really like it. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.